Ladies and gentlemen and people of the universe, it's London Elektricity and I'm back. It's 2019. Yes, I have not disappeared off the face of the earth. We have the most amazing drum and bass to bring you. Podcast 382 is all about Sick Music 2019, which came out last Friday and is an absolutely glorious bunch of 25 brand new original slices of music. This is by me. This is called Funkopolis. The funk is back. Got to give a huge shout out to everyone in New Zealand and Australia that we encountered. Was there for 4 whole weeks. Did 2 weeks driving around North Island with the Coleman family. We did absolutely everything that you can possibly do. It was amazing. And then loads of amazing gigs in New Zealand and Australia. Too many to mention, but what a way to spend the English winter, instead being in New Zealand and Australia for the summer. It was superb. So, Sick Music 2019, it's out right now. There's 25 tracks by Fred V on his own, Graphics on his own, Benny L, Flava D, Boo and Unglued collaborating, me, Spy, Metric, Indra and Whiney, Mike Hiss, Makoto and Hugh Hardie, Krakota, Gridlok, Logistics, Lakeway, Degs, Polaris, Anile, Bop, MRSA, Pete Cannon, Murdoch, Inmost, Walker and even more. It's absolutely sensational, ladies and gentlemen, it really is. I'm not biased at all. Obviously the release is on all formats. The vinyl is a very special boxed set that contains a CD. No, it doesn't contain a CD. It contains an amazing t-shirt and a fantabulous USB stick, and it's limited edition, and it may well have sold out already. Check the hospital shop for details. A massive shout out to Lopez and to Ollie, who together run our shop and merchandise department. I'm going to get Lopez on for a talkcast ASAP. We need that. And talking about the speech therapy podcast, which was an experiment, 10,000 people downloaded it, so that means it worked. It's amazing. I love you lot. Shout out from KK Panja, who is a doctor in America who stumbled across the hospital podcast while he was looking for medical podcasts for his research. And he says, thank you, in the past 4 months, I've discovered my love for drum and bass, and I have mad respect for the beats from your label and your sets. I've reconnected with UK drum and bass in a way that I didn't have when I first encountered these beats. And KK Panja finishes off by saying, when my junior medical trainees may ask me about what to listen to, I am sure to share the Hospital Records podcast with them. Keep up your amazing work. And you, KK Panja, keep up saving lives. Dean Dallander says, Big Tony, I'm not that big. My friends and I started a collaborative drum and bass playlist on Spotify 5 years ago, aptly named the playlist that cannot fail. We're on we've got 999 tunes on it and we can't decide what the 1000th tune should be. Well, I'm not gonna say use one of my tunes, although obviously the one I just played, Funkopolis, would be nice if it was on there. However, also from Sick Music is this amazing piece of music by Danielle, aka Flava D, Return to Me. Now, for those who don't know, Flava D is massive, and I'm talking about massive in the bass house scene. And she has been concentrating over the last year, amongst other things, on making glorious liquid drum and bass, such as this. Big shout going out to Danielle. So, aside from everyone in the hospital office getting extremely overexcited about the Sick Music album, what else has been happening? We've got Whiney's album out, the Waystone LP. You need to check that out if you haven't already. It's incredible. Crate 67 by Mike Kiss. People are gradually cottoning on to Mike Kiss now, and he is extraordinarily good. You may be aware, I'm not actually allowed to play it because the podcast will get blacklisted. But there was a rather good bootleg done by Urban Dawn of the Beatles, Come Together. Urban Dawn is coming over to the UK shortly. He's going to be joining me, I believe, at Printworks for Hospitality, which is sold out. Because that's kind of how we like to do things. And Fred V and Graphics are now solo artists, so please give them a follow. That they both re-signed to Hospital as solo artists, so at Fred V Music and at Graphics Music UK. Talking about social media, you may be aware that I have been giving myself a holiday from social media. It's self-inflicted. It's because I want to give myself more time to make music so I can finish my album on time. So I deleted all the social media apps off my phone. And it's quite interesting, but I'm sorry if I haven't been replying to you because I actually haven't seen anyone's messages at all. But I'll come back when I need to. Don't worry. Right, what's important? Okay, what is really important is Hospitality on the Beach 2019. Tickets are almost out on third release. The festival is the 11th to the 15th of July 2019. Flights are currently an absolute bargain. You're looking at around about 140 quid return, 150 quid return. London to Zadar or London to Split. A little tip, I've learned this from DJing. Flights tend to be cheapest if you go Monday to Monday or something like that. But anyway, now is a really, really good time to book your flight. Brand new music now from Culture Shock, and I've had a very interesting conversation with this young man, James. He is also a fellow Steve Reich freak, and also a Mike Oldfield fan as well. We've been geeking out over chord progressions in Steve Reich tunes. This is, I think, part 5 in his sequence series. It's called Take Control.
I gave you
total respect to anyone who uses a kind of cycle of fifths as their intro chord sequence. It's gorgeous. Yes, James, big up your status. Great record, mate.
Take it down, take control.
I've got to give a massive shout out to everyone who came out to Calimojo in Lisbon weekend before last. It was their 17th anniversary and I was honoured to be chosen to play alongside Matt Optical and also Nokin and the Bass Brothers. It was an absolutely brilliant night. Rammed to the hilt. 800 people crammed into a fantastic space in a market. It was really nice. Shouting from Cyperposics, who says, big shout out to Jasmine, I love her. And spreading love is what we try and do with drum and bass. That's why we're here. That is why you're listening to this. That's why our community exists.
Take it down, take control.
Shouting from Jordan, who says, can I have a massive call out to my mates Ray, Sam and Vilesy, who I love dearly. We listen to this podcast every episode from Jordan in Perth, Australia. P.S. Can't wait to catch your show in Perth in January. Obviously I've done that show already. And Jordan, I actually think you came up to me and I met you. In which case it was lovely to meet you. If I didn't meet you, where were you? Big shout out to Adam and Ben at Chemistry for touring the hospitality tour and me solo around Australia. It was extraordinarily good. I was the luckiest man in the world because I was actually given 4 days off in Byron Bay. I've never been to Byron Bay before. I definitely want to go back. It is amazing. As you know, one of the things I love doing most of all is snorkeling. And I went out to Justin's Rock. Anyone who's been there knows what I'm talking about. It was amazing. For 75 Australian dollars, I spent 3.5 hours in a boat and in the water, swimming with leopard sharks, manta rays, eagle rays, and about 1 billion fish of all different colour. It was amazing. My idea of heaven. This is Cookie Monster. Wicked, wicked tune by Total Science, Digital and Spirit. And it's on CIA versus Phantom Audio. TSDS 003 is the catalogue number. Absolutely wicked way to kick off the year with a tune like this as well. And I was mentioning hospitality on the beach. We have now announced the after parties. Okay, the after parties are as follows. On Friday, the Kings of the Rollers present Royal Rumble, featuring obviously Kings of the Rollers, Doc Scott, Spy back-to-back Randall, back-to-back TBA, Benny L back-to-back Boo, back-to-back TI, hosted by Inja, SPMC, AD and Linguistics. I wish my artist name was TBA, because I'd be doing a lot more gigs. On Saturday we have the Run after party, and the lineup is as follows: Danny Bird, Mephius back-to-back Kazra, Serum, DJ Die, Turno, Distorted Minds, TS2W, hosted by Jakes, Maxim, Chunky and Carousel. On Sunday we have the Hospitality After Dark party. High Contrast back-to-back Me, London Electricity, Metric back-to-back Graphics, back-to-back Quakota, Flava D, Etherwood back-to-back Fred V, Newtone back-to-back Unglued, hosted by Dynamite MC, Carousel and Ruthless. And if you don't already know, it is the best drum and bass festival in the world. The most beautiful, with the best food. The seafood in Croatia is unbelievable. But just in case you don't know what's happening, other lineup highlights include Andy C, 3-hour set, Noisia, DJ Hype, High Contrast, DJ Marky, Kings of the Rollers, Mephius, Friction, Spy, D-Bridge, Etherwood, Turno, and 5-hour sets by DJ Zinc, Me, London Electricity, Randall, Hybrid Minds, and loads more. The stage hosts are Exit Records, Critical Music, Med School, Dubplate Style featuring Spy, Shogun Audio, Sun and Bass, Vibina, Cuckoo's Nest, Incubator, Main Squeeze, Korsakoff, and of course, Hospitality. Now, when I go over my jet lag and I started to check my inbox for promos, absolutely delighted to see something new by Clute, always on Commercial Suicide. This is the Clute VIP of Take a Breath. Catalogue number Suicide 98, do not miss out. It's also in the key of D, in case you were wondering. Yes, Tom Clute, come on with those amens, come on.
One love, this one Prince Allah.
It's drum and bass, baby. Shout out to Fabio for that one. Okay, so I'm going to put myself in your shoes for a minute. Okay, maybe you live in London. You've booked your ticket for hospitality on the beach in Croatia. But you are desperate for some hospitality action. The Christmas barbecue seems like a million years ago at Studio 338. It was phenomenally amazing, by the way. And you're like, I can't wait till July. What am I going to do? And I'm like, what you're going to do is you're going to come back to Studio 338 on the 4th of May for the Hospitality Summer Barbecue. It is our first party of the summer. Put it in your diary, May the 4th. It's the return of the proper barbecue. We did have some food at the Christmas one, but it was freezing, so obviously we couldn't have like about 10 different food stalls. But you wait for 4th of May. Tickets for that are on sale right now at www.hospitalitydnb.com. And the lineup features Room 1 Hospitality, Camo and Crooked, London Electricity, Metric, Fred V, New Logic, Makoto, Crocota, Hugh Hardie, Degs, Dilemma and Lens. Room 2 is dubplate style, yes of course. The Carlos Lima Spy is in the house for a 2-hour set along with DJ Die playing his amazing archive set. Randall, jungle set from New Tone, Remark, One Mind, DJ Flight, that's F-L-I-G-H-T, the original DJ Flight, Western Law Takeover, Particle and Euphonique. Room 3 is Med School with Etherwood, Whiney, DLR, special guest, Kino, Lakeway, Med School, DJs. We know how to keep you happy. Shout in from Oscar who says, I'm messaging you from sunny Sri Lanka. Can you give a shout out to my sister's boyfriend Lewis Callanan, please? Why? Is he lending you loads of money? Oh no, sorry. Wishing him a speedy recovery from his operation so that they can party with the family out in Thailand. Yes, sorry about that. It was a poor taste joke. Lewis, I hope you're better. And I hope you had a wicked New Year's Eve. Right, this next track, check it out. Hopefully you've heard this out and about, if you're the out and about type. But if you haven't, this is rather special. From Sick Music 2019.
Try listening to my friends. They told me, bro, it ain't worth it. You know how these things turn out in the end. But baby, I can't pretend. It's all my fault, I'm returning. It ain't so easy just to knock it on the head.
Don't blame yourself, Degs. It's not your fault.
Feeling like I'm falling into you. Because just this one time you're making me unwind and see the truth. I never really wanted this, I gave you my excuse. You're taking the control, you're taking the control, you're taking the control.
What on earth is this? Well, I'll tell you what this is. This is the Whiney remix of Poveglia by Degs. been absolutely bashing up the dance floor with this one. Down Under.
So persuasive, persuasive.
Shout to Will Whiney for being an absolute genius, and to Andy Degs for being Andy Degs.
I'm feeling like I'm falling into you, because just this one time you're making me unwind and see the truth. I never really wanted this, I gave you my excuse. You're taking the control, you're taking the control, you're taking the control. Hey.
So, Sick Music historically has been a breeding ground for huge tunes, and this is definitely one of them. Just this one time you're making me unwind and see the truth. I never really wanted this, I gave you my excuse. You're taking the control, I'm watching it unfold, but I'm feeling good. Now, when I said it's a breeding ground for big tunes, they don't come really any bigger than the next tune I'm going to play. From Sick Music 2019, it's Police in Helicopter, the Benny L remix, which has been #1, not just in the drum and bass chart, but in the all music chart on Beatport for the last 2 weeks. It is a certified massive tune.
Yes, boss, yes, boss, yes, boss. Police in helicopter, a search for marijuana. Policemen in the streets, searching for cali weed. Soldiers in the field, burning the cali weed. But if you continue to burn up the herbs, we gonna burn down the cane fields. If you continue to burn up the herbs, we gonna burn down the cane fields. Soldier in the herb field, burning the cali weed. Police in helicopter.
Big shout out to John Holt, who made the original, of course.
Police in helicopter. Police in helicopter. Police in helicopter.
I know, right?
Police in helicopter, I search for marijuana. Police in helicopter. Police in helicopter. Police in helicopter, I search for marijuana.
How good does it feel to kick off the year releasing a tune like this and an album like City Music 2019, and to have good people like you tuning in and listening to the podcast? It feels very good indeed.
Yes, boss. Yes, boss. Yes, boss. Yes, boss. Police in helicopter, a search for marijuana. Policemen in the streets, searching for cali weed. Soldiers in the field, burning the cali weed. But if you continue to burn up the herbs, we gonna burn down the cane fields. If you continue to burn up the herbs, we gonna burn down the cane fields. Soldier in the herb field.
Yep.
Burning the cali weed. Police in helicopter, a search for marijuana. Police in helicopter. Police in helicopter.
I mean, what more? What more do you want from a drum and bass dance floor tune? It's got it all.
Police in helicopter.
Right, massive shout going out to BCee, who runs Spearhead Records, and he was very kind to invite me to play back-to-back with him at Fabric last weekend. 2-hour session, much enjoyment had by all, and I particularly enjoyed Steve's remix of one of the very earliest London Elektricity tunes ever, Do You Believe? Really, really nice piece of work. And this is brand new music from BCee. It's called Shouting About Nothing. Soon come on the Spearhead label. And shouting about something is Ash, who says, "Hey Tony, can I have a shout out from my wife, who's recently given me the best gift in the world, our little baby son Isaac. Looking forward to taking him to hospitality events for the years to come." From Ash. Well, Ash, I'm really looking forward to you bringing your little son Isaac to hospitality when he's 18, and when I'm going to be about 80 years old. Thanks for that, mate. Come on, Steve, easy. Didn't anybody tell you we're supposed to get mellow in our old age? Shouting from Mihai, who says, "Big shout to you, Tony, for making my way to work each day very slightly less painful." And what Katie made writes in and says, "We found friendship over a love." I think she's talking about a boyfriend, and I missed off the first bit or something. Anyway, she said, "We found friendship over a love of music, mountains and Mexican food." Nice alliteration there, what Katie made. He introduced me to Hospital Records, and we even made it to hospitality in the park this year, which was filled with such beautiful people. Well, you know, I mean, what do you expect? It was an amazing year, 2018, full of the best memories and best soundtracks, but life doesn't always go as you would like, and sadly we aren't in touch anymore. No! What? But as it's the season of goodwill to all, she obviously wrote this in Christmas sort of period. I just wanted to say much love to the Beardo Weirdo from the Vale. 2018 meant a lot. Oh, that's kind of uplifting and sad at the same time. And you've made me feel a bit like Alan Partridge, I'm sorry. Kind of went in all wrong on that shout. Came out of it even worse. Let's hope this one goes better. Bartek writes in and says, shout out to my wonderful fiancée Zuzia, who is slowly converting to drum and bass and went to the last 2 hospitalities in the park with me. Lots of love. Bartek, you're doing it right. You're definitely doing it right. Okay, keep the pressure up gently. Tough love and all that, you know. Jam Tartus says, I might have missed this, but big shout out to my girlfriend who I have converted to a drum and bass fan. There's a bit of a theme going on here. And we are doing our first holiday to Croatia for Hospitality in the Beach 2019. I love her loads. And if you're bringing her to Hospitality on the Beach, you do love her loads, because it is the absolute best week of your life you will ever have. Unless you fall out with each other, so don't do that. Please. Incoming brand new music from Polaris on Sick Music 2019. The man's just polishing off his debut EP for med school, but in the meantime, enjoy this. It's called Alignment. Big shout out to Vlad. Really enjoying your new music, mate. Cannot wait to get your debut EP out. It seems crazy that your debut EP hasn't come out yet, but you've had such big tunes on compilations like Forza Horizons and Future Sound of Canada and various sick musics and so forth. So yeah, it's definitely high time. This is how we do on Hospital, this is how we do on Med School, this is how Vlad Polaris does. And a really nice shout in from Pigglebowski, who actually says, "Hi Tony, can I get a shout out to the versatility of bread for making awesome toast in the morning, burgers and sandwiches for lunch, and pizza at night. Flour and yeast for life." Jared from Perth. I would like to include Volkenbrot in that, because that is currently my favourite bread. It has a very, very slow carbohydrate release rate, and it's extremely filling, a little bit like Lembas in Lord of the Rings. Second drop business from Polaris, come on. And this is turning into an epic podcast. It has to be, because I was supposed to do one in Melbourne. I had a 3-hour window between landing and doing the gig. And I came down with a really heavy chest infection. So I actually did the sensible thing for a change and had to take the unfortunate decision of not doing a podcast from Melbourne, which is very upsetting for me because I've never done one from Melbourne before. But next time I'm in Melbourne, I will definitely make it up and record a hospital podcast live from Melbourne, whenever that may be, if they'll have me back. Okay, switching from Canada to Finland now. New music from one of my very, very favourite producers in the world, Muffler. This is called November, and it's on his new self-released album. You can get it on his Bandcamp. I tried to sign this for Sick Music 2019, and I was 2 days too late because he'd already mastered his album. So that goes to show, you got to be quick draw, McGraw. Here we go, let's do this. November by Muffler. Do I have more news to give you? I have so much more news. It's crazy. The Kings of the Rollers are launching their own events brand called Royal Rumble in London on the 19th of April, Studio 338. It's the London debut of their Royal Rumble tour. Tickets are on sale right now. Incredible lineup. Kings of the Rollers hosted by Inja, Doc Scott, back-to-back Total Science, back-to-back Randall hosted by Navigator, Brian G, back-to-back Jumping Jack Frost, back-to-back special guest hosted by Moose. Wait for the drop. Need for Mirrors, back-to-back Bailey, back-to-back Crust hosted by Dynamite MC. TI, back-to-back Unglued, back-to-back Kyrist hosted by Bassman. And Room 2 is Run featuring Chrissy Chris, Annex, D-Minds, Molly Collins, Critical Impact, Dutta, TS2W hosted by Jakes, Texas and Foxy. I want to give a huge shout out to the Kings of the Rollers, Voltage, Blade Runner and Serum, who have delivered the masters of their debut album that's going to be coming out later this year on Hospital Records. I probably played about 7 or 8 tunes from that album in every set in Australia and New Zealand, and it is so varied, it's going to surprise so many people. Let's get back to sick music now. It's time for some new Lakeway. It's always time for some new Lakeway. This is called War Dub. Parental advisory.
Lakeway, you about to fuck up the jam, yeah? Aye.
absolute madness from Lakeway. I love it. He makes music like those movies where if you turn your head for 1 second and look away from the screen, you miss something really, really important. Well, that is Lakeway's music. So yeah, I should shut up really. And I've just noticed that War Dub is actually in G minor, which means that it will mix extremely well with quite a lot of tunes by Breakage, Lakeway himself, Whiney. There you go, I've already constructed your set for you.
Fuck up the jam, yeah? Aye.
Yeah, what he said. That's actually Dexter, who works in the hospital office. I know, right? I'm actually mixing. We are sticking with Sick Music 2019, and this Liquid Beauty is a collaboration between Makoto and Hugh Hardie. It's called Bluebird. And it goes like this. Shout in from Jordan Graham, who goes, can I please have a shout on the next podcast? I want to say I love what you do, Tony. The positive vibes you spread across the world are absolutely amazing. I think you should be crowned king of drum and bass. Shut up. Love listening to Hospital Records podcast and also everything else that comes from Hospital. My best brother Sean and I are super pumped for Hospitality on the beach. Yes, we have got tickets. Also, I can't wait to watch you and the family in NZ. Much love from the heart of NZ, little old Taupo, George. Right, so, first of all, you're flying all the way from New Zealand to Croatia to come to Hospitality on the beach. That in itself is quite amazing and very, very humbling. Secondly, I had the pleasure of spending 2 days camped around Lake Taupo on North Island with the Lady Culminator, with the Secretary General and with the Chairman, and we had an absolutely amazing time around Taupo. The whitewater rafting was phenomenal. Extremely lucky that drum and bass can actually take us to places like that. Never ever ever do we take it for granted. But huge shout out to the Kiwi Drum and Bass Massive. And Jordan, I'll see you in Croatia, mate. Big up for getting a ticket early. They are not going to be around forever. And one of the best things about recording the podcast at home is that the lady culminator walks in to the music room with a cup of tea. And boy, does she make a good cup of tea. It's like a really nice mahogany colour. It's amazing. It's still got the bag in. I love the bag in. I love Bilbo Baggins. Talking of which, we did go to Hobbiton in New Zealand, and it was amazing. I was sort of ready to be disappointed, but I loved it. Rhino, not to be confused with Whiney from Camo and Crooked, Rhino writes in and says, "Thank you for all the years that you provided me with amazing music through Hospital podcasts. I discovered Hospital Records thanks to my friend Kalps about 10 years ago, and I've been a fan ever since. Big shout out to the Kalps. I've found the best melodic drum and bass from Hospital ever since. Thank you for keeping up with that style of Hospital. I believe this has become a signature in drum and bass, and I enjoy every new podcast from you. I hope I'll have the chance to join your upcoming events. I've been buying many of the Hospital release records and I love your style. I hope you'll also get more gigs in Finland since I'm nowadays living in Helsinki. Ever yours, Rhino." I also hope that I would be able to play in Helsinki, but it's not on the cards right now, but that doesn't mean that we're not trying to work on it. I need to talk to Muffler. This slice of bad boyness is from from C Music 2019. Brand new, incredible music from Gridlok. I've been bashing this all the way around my tour down under. I absolutely love it. It's called It's Not Techno. If it's not techno, what is it? I'll tell you what it is. It's funk. Let's do this. Massive shout out to Ryan Gridlok for this one. Brilliant piece of work. I think it's safe to say the funk is back. It's sick music. It's Gridlok. It's amazing, but it's not techno. This is wicked because here in southeast London the weather is absolutely appalling. It's wet, it's miserable, it's cold. But we can counteract it with music like this. It seems like the whole world is going to pieces and everyone's gone crazy. And all our politicians are total idiots. Which does actually seem to be the case, but we've got drum and bass, haven't we? So let's just get our heads down and let's start dancing. What's this we can hear? What is it? It is Mixed Grill. Woo! Of course, by Serum on the Souped Up label. It's a wicked EP. It had some rather questionable promotional video material, but it's only questionable because now I don't eat meat anymore. But it was all like mixed grills and meat and stuff, which you know, fair enough. The EP's called Mixed Grill. And although I no longer actually eat meat, I do eat fish. And I do enjoy watching other people enjoy eating meat. I know that sounds funny, but I genuinely do. It's just not for me, that's all. But this is Mixed Grill on Souped Up by Serum. Shout in from Anonymous, someone who wishes to remain anonymous, but does want to shout. So Anonymous writes in and says, I was going to post this publicly, but I was brought to tears trying to type this. So I would like to be anonymous if that's okay. I want to say for the record that if it wasn't for music so many years ago and being introduced to you, Tony, and the Hospital Records family, as well as the drum and bass family, I probably wouldn't be alive for the last 10 years. Thank you to everyone in music, in gaming and in the comic industry for being a guiding light in this life. I wouldn't be alive today to see my nieces and nephew if it wasn't for all of you lot. A very humbling message, slightly surreal, over a tune called Mixed Grill. I think I'm smashing it with my shout-outs today. Here's a straightforward one. Stefan from Frechen in Germany says, hi Tony, please give a shout-out to my 3-year-old daughter Mia and my lovely wife Steffi. See, I can manage shouts like that without putting my foot in it. What is this incoming? This is brand new music on the Flexout label. It's by Phentix and it's called Satori. Absolutely love this, definitely. It's in the Lakeway camp. You two need to collaborate. I do love attention deficit syndrome music, and by that I mean music that is made for people with a really short attention span. Therefore, things have to change very quickly all the time. Probably says something about me. So what's happening this weekend? You all are desperate to find out. Well, Hospitality Kent, yes, on the 1st of February in the Maidstone Gallery, which actually is a venue that I'm dying to play at because I've heard some amazing things about it. And this features Danny Bird. Spy presents Dubplate Style, Metric, Etherwood, Whiney, Unglued and Dynamite MC, Loki and Ruthless. That's a lineup and a half. Hospitality Leamington Spa, also on the 1st of February. Also with Spy presenting his dubplate. He's going to be a busy man. Drive carefully, Spy. TC, Fred V, Logistics, TI Back-to-Back Boo, Urban Dawn and Ninja, Loki and Degs. Yes, Degs. Easy with the coconut butter, okay? Hospitality Bournemouth on the 2nd of February at the old fire station. Danny Bird, Spy, Unglued, Urban Dawn, woo! Whitey, yes, Whitey, not Whiney. Loki, Texas, Felon, Skid Row and Impact. And Bill Lineman writes in to say, hey Tony, excuse me, that was a little remnant of my my cough. Bill Lyman says, hey Tony, I was wondering if I could get a shout out on the next podcast. I wanted to say goodbye to Beta nightclub in Denver. They are unfortunately closing their doors after being open for 11 years. While they hosted artists of many different genres, Beta was always a strong supporter of drum and bass. They brought artists such as Andy C, Subfocus, Netsky, Pendulum, Matrix and Futurebound to Denver. This club has felt like a second home to me and has introduced me to some of my closest friends. I'm really sad they're closing, but I'm smiling thinking about all the memories I've had at that place. Bill, this goes out to future nightclubs that haven't opened yet, but will, in Denver, Colorado. New music on the Metalheads label now. This is by an artist called Agzilla. The tune's called Tripping Over Laces. And it's from an album called Cats Can Hear Ultrasound. It takes me right back to the very first Hospital compilation, which was called Ultrasound, and basically launched our career upon an unsuspecting world. Let's check this out. Stevie Gillis writes in and says, "Hey Tony, my name is Stevie." I know that because it says so. "I'd like to throw a massive shout out to you and the Hospital Records crew from Ottawa in Canada for your collective continuing dedication to produce and distribute the best drum and bass in the world. I, like many drum and bass heads, suffer from mental health issues. Your music speaks to me in a very deep and personal way and has been with me through many rough years and now into the best years of my life. Happy 2019. Keep on keeping it real. All the best to you and your family." Stevie Gillis, thank you very much indeed. Nice. I do love it when you're more than halfway through a tune and then the best bit comes in. We've got a tune like that coming out on Hospital in about 2.5 months. But I'm not allowed to tell you anything about it other than it's got a brilliant bit that comes in halfway through. Shout in from Anna Ball who says, "Hola Tony and Co. I'm a mid-term podcast listener. I haven't earned my long-term stripes yet. I don't know any other way to shout out other than this. I love all music, I love travelling, but the Hospital podcast keeps me totally engaged, vitalised through music and gives me energy wherever I am. You've given me smiles around the world personally, and I'm so excited that your message is spreading wider internationally, globally. I'm a boring white female middle-aged engineer, but I love the Hospitality Presents nights. I'm sure you're not boring. No one's really boring. Well, apart from all of our politicians. I adore the podcast and I miss your dialogue on life. Well, here's loads of dialogue on this one. There was a negative shout out in maybe, 12 or 18 months ago. Leanne, I think she was called, saying that you forced your views on your listeners. I disagree and I miss your commentary. Bring it back. Anna, the truth is, I actually got a bit bored of myself, of my own political commentary, because politics is really boring at the moment and no one knows what they're talking about, not, at least of all me, so there's no point me talking about politics. Sorry to disappoint you, but there you go, that's just the way it is. When you reach stalemate, there's not a lot you can do. Anyway, Anna, thank you for the shout out. This is the last track of the podcast. And we are in 160 BPM territory now. It's a track called Obsession. It's not coming out for a while, so it's the world exclusive. It's going to be on Med School. It's by Anna, aka A.Fruit. She is a remarkable producer. It's a remarkable release. It is frankly quite something and quite amazing to be back in 2019. At the helm of the Hospital Podcast. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for listening in ever-growing numbers. And thank you for being on this journey. Let's make the most of this one life that we have by listening to the best drum and bass in the world. Harps. I've got a thing about harps. Massive shout to the second breakdown variation crew. And where the drop thereafter switches up. Okay, that's it. That is podcast 382. My name's London Elektricity. I'm out of here. Probably no point you messaging me on social media because I won't read it. For the time being. Until someone at hospital begs me and says, we really need you to post something, Tony. So then I will. But until such time, I'm going to remain a hermit. And you will only know what I've been up to and what I think about in the Hospital Podcast. Big love. Thanks for being here.